It wasn't so much that it was harder for me to play, it was more that I wanted it to feel different from when we'd seen him banged up in the past, if you know what I mean. Like, it had to feel different. It had to feel like a new level of beaten up. And I know that we talked a lot about what we could do with the camera and with the sound effects in order to kind of aid me on that, to kind of portray that. But that was fun.
I think harder to play is an interesting thing to ask an actor, because I mean, everything's hard to play, and then some things are really easy because you just connect. No, I mean, I think everything's just more interesting, and challenges make it more fun. I appreciated in the beginning that they remembered that Matt and Karen did not end things well. So when he is potentially dead, that's how things were left for me, and I liked this idea that we're going to play some denial of that, you know, and just because I turn out to be right doesn't mean that wasn't denial, that it wasn't saying, you know what, hey, if he's dead and that's how we left it, then I have to live with that the rest of my life, and I'm not ready to go there.
Yeah, which is a little bit daunting in terms of signing a 7-year contract. And then you're just, thankfully, I had the experience of being gratified around every turn by the decision, to do the show, because the writing, both for the whole season, but also for my character specifically, has just completely blew me away, basically around every corner. So
he's gonna be a giant star.
I don't know about that. I think in terms of really giving, coming into a show and not being like what feels like an ancillary player, but really having a character that gets backstory, that gets really, to have depth pretty clearly, fairly quickly. It was an amazing experience, yeah. To be very clear here, Charlie is like an absolute professional because he's been doing this for years, so the bar is set pretty high. And that was very nerve-wracking coming in, but it's fun as hell, man. Yeah, and I had a good teacher, so to speak.
With these sequences, the only way you can make them work is when you have an entire team who are willing and able to get really stuck in, and kind of, it's not always pretty. You know what I mean? You have to kind of really trust each other. You have to find the time to rehearse if you have it. They can be long nights. They can, you're caught, or you're either freezing outside on a rooftop, or you're boiling hot and sweating through your costume inside. And you do it over and over and over again. And you just have to really, you have to know that the end product will be worth it. I've done sequences with people who don't really want to be there, or you know what I mean, and it's just never as good. And so to have Wilson as a teammate on that was I think we were both given the opportunity to make the best sequences we can, and there's some great ones.
And I'll add, from an outside perspective, what I think makes them really wonderful and fantastic to watch while they shoot and all of that is that, our stunt teams are incredible and they can do incredible things, and Charlie and Wilson themselves can do incredible things physically, but that alone is just fireworks, right? Every single move that the stunt team or Charlie or Wilson come up with and they do is motivated by some kind of character choice, need. You never feel like they're just flailing about for fun sort of fireworks sake. And so it's fascinating to watch, and everyone can really stay stuck in it because they know what the goal is, what the motivation.
And then even extrapolating a tiny bit more on that is that, in addition to that, both of these characters have such different backstories and have such different skill sets that then the fight scenes become even that much cooler.
They're specific to each one.
It's like, and I think like just having caught a few glimpses of the way that these scenes have come together, seeing the way these two characters square off against each other is fucking badass.
Cool. It's gonna be cool.